All right, I'll give you a quick update what's been going on here at the cabin. I know it's been a little while. We've been pretty busy. We've been enjoying ourselves here and also entertaining a lot of folks. But we're excited about what all's going on, and a big announcement we'll get to in just a minute. But first thing is, been a really nice day. It started out at 55 degrees, and this is June the 16th, and warmed up maybe to 71 up here on the mountain. We've got 15 degrees colder in Roanoke. But quick view, well, there's my lawnmower bought off Facebook Marketplace, so we'll see if it was a good deal or not. But the grass has been a little tough. There's not been a lot of rain. I did use some water. I used some water on the grounds here yesterday, and I'll probably do some again this evening. I might do it right now as we're talking. Hey Siri, set me a timer for 30 minutes. So what I've been doing is turning on the sprinkler for about 30 minutes. I don't want to deplete my well too much, and do about 2 or 3 30-minute waterings a day, maybe 4. But I try to spread out, a couple in the morning, a couple in the evening. Luna, you like that water? It's kind of a little bit of entertainment for her. Today's been so windy, it's a little bit tough, but you can see some places we've got the grass looking better than others. Over here is where we saw our friend the black snake come out of this rock pile. I don't know if he came back or where he went, but yeah, some places are growing better than others. Basically, the areas that are not as prone to drying out have done a whole lot better. Let's walk on across here. Luna, come sweetie. Went ahead and fixed me a little dinner of roasted vegetables. I think we had maybe a little too much of the Blackstone for a couple days. I did some smash burgers, and this morning I did the full Father's Day breakfast with everything you might imagine, sausage and eggs and all that good stuff. So need to eat a little bit lighter. Plus I've got a doctor's appointment Wednesday, and if I don't get a good A1C, I'm gonna be in trouble. But still I'm gonna bring the log splitter. I was gonna bring it this week, but maybe next week, maybe sometime, maybe I'll bring it back Thursday. But the big news is we closed on this property next door. So that brings the total acreage here at the Blue House up to 22 acres. So we did buy that property from Adam. And let me just say, Adam was a great neighbor. If my choices were to have the property or have Adam as a neighbor, it's pretty close. He really helped us get this cabin built. The area that we're standing now, a lot of the rafters and framing lumber and everything came in this way, and he was very accommodating to let us come across his property. Plus, this property also has 2 wells. The well company claimed when they drilled the well, they didn't realize where they were. Sounds a little crazy to me. Oh, if you check YouTube, you'll see some pictures of Teresa running a DR brush hog. This thing is pretty stout. So Adam had not mown, which I wouldn't either if I was selling the property, and trying to figure out where he was mowing. I did a little bit of weed eating. I keep thinking I'm a blue collar guy, but after about 5 hours of mowing and weed eating today, I was cramping up during the night, and I was kind of busted this morning. So we'll try to get back after it and do a little weed eating and mowing tomorrow. But yeah, the machine is a pretty awesome machine if you've not seen one in use. But we'll walk on up here. This is my well, and you probably remember from some of the other videos that we had to go from here, had to run power over here, and then my line runs back kind of the way we were walking back to my house. And the story's told that the other well here, they drilled both of them, and the company couldn't find the boundaries, which sounds a little crazy to me because the boundary's right over there. So the well's about 25-30 yards onto Adam's property, which I'm going to have to stop calling it Adam's property since we have purchased it. I don't know what we're going to call it now, the annex, or I don't know. But here's the other well. Both these wells are around 200 to 220. We're not sure which is which because we really couldn't tell from the documentation. The guy who drilled them in 1991 was still around, but he couldn't remember either. He drilled them in I think January of 1991. These 2 lots were originally owned by the same folks. Guy owned them for about 3 years, going to build a cabin for his kids, had a massive heart attack and died. So his wife held on to the property for another 30 plus years, and then we were fortunate enough to get it. So don't wait too long for what you plan to do. May not be no time for it. But Adam, if you take a look here, I just mowed some. You can see this is, he'd done quite a bit of work. He has some access to some pretty good size equipment, and we'll go down and look at shelter in a minute. He'd put a double gate. Luna, we're not going that way, honey. He'd put a little road going around the side. We'll try to mow that out and see what it looks like. He had moved a bunch of these rocks. I'll tell you, a gate is, if you haven't priced a gate lately, a gate is $199 at Tractor Supply. So we got a couple gates, and he had placed rocks, some large rocks. He had equipment that was capable of moving those rocks. We don't have no equipment capable of moving them rocks. So we'll go back down here and look at the shelter. But it's a nice piece of property. Adam had some other property opportunities, and if he can't be my neighbor, the next best thing is to buy it and incorporate it into the Blue House. So we're super excited about it, and you know, we'll miss him. He was our good neighbor. You know, good neighbors mean a lot. But Adam also built this picnic shelter. He had some rafters and things, I think, from another project, and we'll take here and take a look at it. I think it's pretty nice. I am contemplating what to do. I'm thinking about closing in on each side and maybe parking my ATV up here. I don't know. That looks like this is a parking spot, so if I cut the grass right here, I may bring my red trailer, which is probably going to live the remainder of its days. It might exceed my days up here on Potts Mountain. Adam would have has a good view. He would have a pretty spectacular view on this lot, with taking a few trees out. To be honest with you, looking at these two lots, this would probably be the better home site. I think you got a little more space to work with, and you are above the power lines. Now, I'm getting kind of used to seeing the power lines, you know, but you are above the power lines here. You can see the power lines down there in the bottom. So if you did cut a view out, you'd have very similar to my view, but we won't do anything right now. One time when Kermit was up here, they up here not too long ago working on the dirt. Before that, they moved some brush around, and they pulled my brush pile down past the power line, and then they did not get the brush over here in Adams all the way down. And you can see this area here has had some excavation work. I need to, hopefully next couple days, I can do a little bit of weed eater work if Luna will let me. She doesn't like the weed eater. But a fire pit, Luna, nothing in there you need. Nope. She listens very well. But you can see there's a brush pile down there right on the edge of the power line. I believe there's 2 power poles on lot 16. I think lot 17, I think 17 is the right number. Adam's property had 3 power poles. It's more acreage. It's about 12 acres, and it's kind of the shape of a piece of pizza. So this is the picnic shelter that he built. I think it's pretty nice. I think Kermit was kind of evaluating his building skills, but I'll give him a passing grade. The rafters were repurposed, reused. They were experienced already, so he was able, I don't know where they came from, a little bit older, and got one that looks like it's maybe been a chimney or something going out of it. But I have one side here, it's got gravel on the bottom. Don't know, pretty neat the way this is excavated out. Not sure what we'll do. Teresa wants a fire pit, so I'm gonna have to clean the trash out of that just a little bit, and not much, just clean it up a little bit and see if she, it's so windy up here, you're kind of afraid to do a whole lot for fire. Many days it's very windy, but I will get over here and weed eat this bank off and see what we got. But it does give us a lot of additional parking. The possibilities are kind of endless, and I think I haven't been down there. I might go down there tomorrow. I think he left a ground blind for us, and one of my friends who's had some health issues, I was telling him I would be more than glad, would welcome him to come hunt here. So we'll see if we can get him to do that. I think most of the deer cross down at the very bottom of the property. There's this is the beginning of Cove Creek on this property, and it cuts through the original property I owned. And Cove Creek runs right there, and the deer seem to like to cross over right there. It's kind of a natural low spot. We see them coming up across this property, and quite a bit. So he said that that ground blind was probably the best space for deer. Our neighbor Chris said that he could take as many deer as he wanted, but he just wants one. He said that's enough for him. There's another look at the picnic shelter. Little tree damage there, but I think she's gonna ride. She'll be all right. But yeah, not an insignificant little structure. And Luna's just enjoying herself here in the grass. We're dogs. We just finished a 2.5 mile walk. I found that if I am a little busted from working too much, the best thing I can do is get out and exercise a little more. It sounds counterintuitive, but it seems like I do better if I get out and walk 2 or 3 miles, even if I'm a little sore or a little bit aching in a few places. That and vitamin I. I'd highly recommend vitamin I. So we'll run the sprinkler. I have run the well to, when we were first doing testing, he wanted me to run a lot out. And I think I ran it about 1.5 hours and it started getting muddy. So I don't know how much my reserve capacity is. And household use, we've never run into a situation that we've had any kind of water problems. So I'm probably going to do a little bit now, probably do 30 minutes now, and then I might do, let's see, it's 7 o'clock. Might drag the hose around tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning, put some water on this side. My wood pile, I hope it doesn't outlast me. We'll see. I need to bring the splitter up here. Had it for a year. Come on, Luna. But no, we've got some grass growing coming up. And looking ahead right now, at this point in time, I don't see any appreciable rain for the next 7 to 10 days. Maybe a chance of a thunderstorm in a week. They're calling for Roanoke to get some really high temperatures, 95 to 97 on Friday, Saturday. Matter of fact, we'd had a regatta scheduled and I canceled it. I was just not liking the idea of sitting on a committee boat in 97 degrees. And most time when there's 97 degrees, there's no wind, but you never know. That's why you never know. I was mostly concerned about the heat. But now we've watered this a couple times, and there's more grass here than it looks like. It looks barren, but there's some small grass here, and we were able to weed eat over the hill. But no, it's looking good, and I've enjoyed having my father-in-law here today. Him and my father-in-law and Teresa were able to play some cornhole, and then Teresa helped me put some door pulls on the cabinet. She's pretty good, got a lot of carpenter skills besides just running the brush hog. She can do a lot of different things. So real happy about that. We're putting together, hopefully my son is going to come up for at least one night, and we're going to go over Cass Railroad next weekend. And then next week, I got a busy engagement schedule. It's probably a siblings only event here at the cabin. That means my brother and my 2 sisters will be here for a siblings only type event. We like to do that, so we might give you some video of that too. But no, things are going well. A lot of work to do, but am honored and privileged to get to do it. All right, Luna, Charlie, we're going to go down the road, down Hanging Rock Circle. This is the new corner of our property. This property forms kind of a triangle. So we'll give you a look. This is a gated area so that they can, if you have property down here, you have access to the key to the gate. I think the National Forest does too. But we give up probably a couple 100 feet elevation. We'll be missing that coming back up here. Me and Charlie will be bringing up the rear. But we'll give you a look down your power lines. So we're about halfway down the annex property, formerly known as Adams property. And here's one of the power lines. He had a deer blind here, and he said didn't have much success. Said it looked like more success down here at the bottom. So we'll be sure and pass that on to whoever wants to hunt here. But a little bit overgrown, but I know it's pretty steep once you go down over the hill. But we'll continue on down. We're giving up elevation every step. That's the, I believe that's the old entrance to the Dooley property before they had another road cut in. I believe that's correct. But the power pole's going on out that way too. Okay, here's the ground blind that Adam left behind. And we'll hope that somebody gets to use it this fall. But this is where he said he saw more activity. I think he was actually had a bait station down here where they were, you know, spitting out the corn. But we're getting close to the property line. The creek runs a little bit further in. What we'll have to do one day when the maybe there's less vegetation is walk the creek from map it out from one end of the property to the other. That's a unique tree. Look how that thing's kind of forked into 4 pieces. Probably makes it worthless for timber, but it's pretty cool to look at. There's some big trees down in here too. I would suspect all this was probably cut, I don't know, 70, 80 years ago. Everything grows here pretty slow. You're in a little bit, you're in a colder climate, and it faces a lot of wind and ice, so it's extra hard on everything. Charlie's not running off any trails. He sits right to the path. Come on, Luna. Come on out of there. I suspect where he's cut that road in probably will improve some of the deer habitat. Lets a little more, he's taking some trees out, lets a little more sunlight in. There's at least one big dead one right there. Looks like a little, need to bring my weed eater down here and weed eat in a couple little places. We're getting close to one of my neighbors. I've only seen them one time. I understand they live in Whitfield, Virginia. I was looking at their map. Their map's kind of odd. They do back up to the National Forest. Luna, come on. Luna has boundless energy. She never seems to tire. Luna, come on. We're not going to that guy's house. Come on. Nah, guys. This way. This way. And it's a pretty good little walk down here. You may have heard me burp. I had a little bacon and egg breakfast. It's low carb, but it's not easier on your digestive tract. Like I said, Cove Creek begins on the Annex property and runs over onto Lot 16, our original property, and then exits by a conduit or pipe going underneath the road, going on over to Chris's property. I've called a consulting forester. Well, I emailed them. 2 of them, I never heard back. I guess maybe they don't have a lot of interest. I think they know Potts Mountain Wood's a little twisted and splintered and beat up. So we just passed the property line right there into, this is Lot 16. So it's part of the original property. And I don't know if you look back in the archives, remember, subscribe so you can be sure and get the updates. But that's a massive tree that's split out. And when you go over and get up to it, it's probably 8 or 10 foot around. So it was a monster, left a hole in the forest. You can see all the ferns. This is kind of where the creek runs right here. And this whole area stays kind of wet. So the whole bottom's just lush with ferns. This had to be, someone had to plant these because there's no, I think it's like a fir. I'll have to look on my plant snap and see. But there's nothing else down here like this. And they're planted in a semicircle. My guess is there's some rocks that someone had this as a pull through. Maybe they were going to put a camper down here, or not sure what, but it looks like this was definitely a pull through at one point. Probably need to bring the brush mower down here as time allows. But you can see the ones that got the most sunlight really grew, and some of the ones who were kind of shaded by the other trees, they're either dead or close to dying. So this is the fork in the road. The right hand side goes to Chris's property. The left hand side continues the property line of lot 16, the original lot. Yeah, I'm sure these trees were planted. There's nothing else like that here in the forest. Charlie, Luna, come on, baby. We're not going that way. We're not going to Chris's today. You know, like I said in previous videos, the original idea for the home site was probably down here, up on that bank, overlooking all these ferns. But you would have had no electricity. The well's up on the top. There was a lot of disadvantages. You'd have to really be off grid. Chris's cabin is off grid. He doesn't really have any. He has no. Well, it doesn't really. He has no power. He has a generator. But you can get a look. It's quite beautiful down here. It's just covered in ferns, and the creek disappears. Kind of goes back underground. Sometimes it runs, sometimes it doesn't, but it comes on out, and I'll show you where it crosses the road. But all this is very lush down here, and it's a noticeable difference in temperature when you get down here in summer. I mean, just where you're in the shade and in the coolness of the this little valley. But this is a special looking place, I gotta tell you. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat looking. Good goodness. Okay, so this is the place where, you know, I'm sure it's not running. We don't have any rain. We were 2 inches behind on rain here in the area for the month of June, and then the forecast shows no rain for the next 10 days. But when the water is running, it would run through here. There's a that needs to be cleared. There's conduit, and it goes across here to the other side of the property. You can tell, you can kind of follow the lushness of the ferns and get a good idea where the water is going, how the water makes its way around. Yeah, this is beautiful down here. We need to maybe take a trail that Adam created and extend it a little bit more over to maybe the back side of that fern area, and maybe have like a little resting area, bench, or someplace you could contemplate life. But yeah, you can tell that Cove Creek goes over here because look how lush it is, just all the ferns. Luna, when we turn around to go back up the hill, remember our motto is no fat boys left behind. It's me and Charlie. So you got to watch out for us. Yeah, I heard a guy down here mowing. There's another house. I've never met the gentleman. You go a little bit past Diane's, and then on the left, his property. Top side would be up on the Forest Road. Bottom side's down here on this road on the Hanging Rock Circle. And we're approaching our property line. Oh, sorry about the bacon and egg breakfast. Now I'm confused. Thought that was it, but apparently not. Maybe it's back here. Luna, Charlie. No, that tree's alive. There she is. So this is all Diane's property. If you've seen on other videos, it's the beautiful Looks like a mountain chalet A-frame. Built in the built in the early 90s. And beautiful home. I've never seen her. I've seen her in the car. But beautiful place. Keeps the grass mown. Keeps had the house painted. Looks good. This is the corner of lot 16. So you can see, maybe you can see the tree slashed there. And if I look up through the florist, I can see some blaze. And the lot runs, they don't run exactly like you think they would. They're all a little bit 10 or 15 degrees different. But yeah, it's really beautiful down here. And we're going to make our way back up. You don't want to hear me huff and puff. This is a sure sign Luna's pretty worn out. We're almost home. She get a good drink of water, but I think she overdid it running through the woods. Luna, let's go home. Come on. Let's go.